Welcome back, Camely. I'm starting my morning off with some Live It Up greens, and I'd like to thank Live It Up for sponsoring today's video. The holidays are magical, but they're also super exhausting, right? Between travel, late nights, family get-togethers, and way too many sugar cookies, this is one of the simplest ways I stay grounded through it all. Every morning, I mix a scoop of Live It Up super greens. It actually tastes good and fits into real-life routine. I just shake it up with some water. If I'm feeling fancy, maybe blend it into a smoothie, and that's it. When everything else feels chaotic, this little ritual keeps me balanced and feeling centered, ready to start the day. It supports digestion and natural energy, no caffeine, no sugar. Just 20 plus superfoods, probiotics, and digestive enzymes, all designed by dietitians and using ingredients that I trust. Each scoop has about 3 cups of organic vegetables, which makes me feel like I'm getting at least some greens in while living off of holiday leftovers. What I really love is that it's all natural, no synthetic vitamins or minerals, and it's gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and nut-free. Right now, Live It Up is running their limited time holiday offer. It's their biggest sale of the year. You can get 50% off plus a free shaker bottle when you subscribe. Just scan the QR code here and use my code Cameron15. Take care of yourself this season. You deserve it. We have some guests coming over tomorrow. I'm meeting my partner's mom for the first time, so obviously we need to whip this house into shape today. So I'm gonna get to cleaning, and I thought after that I would give you guys a bit of a life update. I feel like it's been a long time since I just sat in front of the camera and talked about how I'm feeling and how things are going. But first things first, I need to get my chores done. It's definitely looking a lot better in here. I'm just kind of hanging out in the girls' room right now because they're not here, they're at school. We hung up some pictures and drawings of them, and it definitely makes their room feel a lot more like their room. Coco expressed a lot of concern about one of the photos falling while she's sleeping. We reassured her though that they're not that heavy and there's no glass. No one's gonna get hurt. But yeah, like I said, my boyfriend's mom is coming into town. So that's really exciting. She's coming from Canada and bringing a ton of Canadian treats. But yeah, I've never met Cody's mom before. And I don't know, I'm just nervous. I feel like it's just a really interesting dynamic. My other partner, Emmy, who Cody's married to, obviously like already knows his mom. There's already a well-established idea of like Cody's partner. There's always the pressure of like meeting your partner's parents for the first time. I feel like there's just kind of another layer to that in my situation. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure she's gonna love hanging out with the girls. Things went super well when I met Cody's dad, and I also met Emmy's mom. So this is definitely one of the last important people in my partner's life that I'm yet to meet. I'm really looking forward to the holidays. This is our second holiday season together, and a couple weeks ago actually marked 1 year since we all moved into this house together, and it's been great. It is kind of weird at this point to reflect on when I was living alone and what that was like. It was definitely a huge learning curve. Just getting used to like sharing my space again. But I think in a lot of ways it's been for the better for both me and the girls. I think things just feel a lot more stable and consistent. When I was living alone, it was very much all on me to keep things running. And there was times that I did really great at that by myself, and there was times where I wasn't doing great and I really needed help and support. And I wasn't getting that, so things just kind of got chaotic and fell through the cracks. Now when I'm going through a period of time where I'm having a little depressive episode, I'm not feeling great. I'm not really feeling up to doing it all and keeping up with everything. I now have people in my life who get that and are understanding and remind me that even when I'm going through something, I still deserve to be taken care of, and they can pick up that slack and take care of things. Between the 3 of us, there's a lot of just balancing, and one of the 3 of us is able to kind of carry the weight and even things out when things feel a little unsteady. So yeah, like I said, it took a while to get used to, and there's definitely a lot of hard lessons I've had to learn since then, but it's all in the name of growth. Looking back, I think I was doing the absolute best that I could, but I'm so grateful for the help that I get now and having such supporting, loving partners. So that's something I've been reflecting on a bit as we're kind of hitting that 1-year mark of living together. I also recently hit the 3-month post-op mark since I had my top surgery. I've talked about it before, where I kind of see my dysphoria as, once again, a balancing act. Just me as a person, I'm both masculine and feminine in a lot of different ways. And sometimes those things mesh in a way that feels really good and affirming and like me, and sometimes not so much. And in general, there's just only so much gender dysphoria I can take at a time. And before top surgery, a lot of that energy, a lot of the dysphoria I was feeling was about my chest. And I felt like I couldn't handle anything else on top of that. So in a lot of ways, I was overcompensating on that masculine side. I couldn't have a flat chest, so I was going to the gym and trying to gain muscle. And I pretty consistently kept my hair shorter, and I wasn't really wearing fun outfits or doing my nails. I just didn't really feel like I had any room to feel good in those things or to explore them, because my dysphoria meter was like completely maxed out at all times. And I kind of always knew throughout this whole journey that when I got to a place that felt comfortable, when I alleviated the things that were making me dysphoric, I'd have more space, more range to keep exploring myself and kind of come back to some of those more feminine things and see how they feel and see if they align with who I am now. I didn't feel like I could have long hair and a chest and be perceived as anything other than feminine. But now I'm wanting to grow out my hair and in a lot of ways present just more gender neutral. Looking back on like way before I even transitioned, I've always been an androgynous person. I've always felt that way. I think there was a lot of pressures to present femininely, but in a lot of ways, and especially in my closer relationships, I've always been androgynous and just this mix up of masculine and feminine, and I've just felt like I'm beyond the gender binary. And I think being so dysphoric about my chest, and before I took tea, feeling so dysphoric about my voice and feeling like those things are feminine in a way that felt really uncomfortable. But yeah, at the moment, I really feel myself being pulled back to that, pulled back to androgyny and gender fluidity, and I'm kind of leaving this phase of being hypermasculine, coming from a place of overcompensation to cope with the extreme dysphoria. And from the very beginning, like, I had goals in my transition that I felt like I would just be so much more comfortable once I get there. And I'm starting to get there. Like, my chest, obviously, huge weight off my shoulders. That did so much for me to alleviate that discomfort. And one of the main things I was hoping to gain from starting testosterone was a change in my voice. There's still little ways to go, and I definitely like it to sit a bit lower. I feel like I'm kind of leaving this puberty boy voice. My voice was cracking a lot more like a few months ago, and it's doing that less now. But I don't know, I went to a Halloween party and it was really loud, and having to like talk over the music and like raise my voice a bit, my voice was cracking all night and I hated it. But yeah, that's feeling a lot better than it was before. I look at old videos from before I started taking tea and I'm like, whoa, such a huge difference. And now that I'm starting to reach these goals and feel more comfortable, it definitely has me thinking, what is the end goal? At what point do we kind of pump the brakes a little bit? Do I want to like fully transition and take testosterone for as long as I possibly can? Do I want to take this forever? What would it look like if I took testosterone forever? What would that feel like for me? Do I want to be as masculine presenting as I possibly can? Or am I okay to kind of reach these goals and maybe take less testosterone or go fully off of taking it? And like, that wouldn't change anything about me, who I am as a person, how I present. I still definitely prefer to lean more masculine, and I use he, him, and they, them pronouns, and my kids call me dad, and my partners call me their boyfriend, and my parents call me their son, and that's just what feels good for me, and that isn't gonna change no matter what. I don't want to give people the wrong idea that I'm like detransitioning. Not what's happening here. I'm just kind of picking up these pieces of myself that I felt like I had to put down because it was too much to carry. It was too heavy. It was weighing me down. I'm just picking those pieces back up and looking at them and asking myself, does this feel better now? Can I take this with me? Do I have to leave this behind? Because there are some parts of me that I felt like I've left behind that maybe I didn't need to. The whole point of all of this was to be myself and to feel like myself. And I think every step I've taken so far, even like all the things that I've had to shed, it was all necessary. It was all part of the process. And I'm definitely in this phase where I'm just kind of like reflecting a lot prior to kind of fully like leaving this cocoon. And it feels really good. I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. And the future is starting to look a lot brighter and more colorful. It just feels like doors have opened to all these new things and new experiences and old things and old experiences that kind of feel new again. A good example of that was Halloween. Me and my partners went as the Powerpuff Girls. I just thought it was cute and the characters matched our personalities a lot, and we just needed a 3-person costume. And you know, it's the one time of year where gender is just kind of thrown out the window. A lot of guys dress as girls, a lot of girls dress as guys, and no one really bats an eye or says a thing. Something that I've been wanting to explore and get into is doing drag. I just think it's such an awesome part of queer culture. I love drag shows. I think it'd be really cool to push myself to put myself on a stage and be center of attention. And I like fashion and I like to dance, and I'm not that good at makeup, but my boyfriend is. And so it just seems like something that'd be really fun to try. Before top surgery, wearing makeup just didn't make me feel good. But with our Powerpuff Girls look, we decided to go all out and have a really drag queen type of interpretation, especially with the makeup, and it was just really fun. It felt like drag, it felt like a costume, it felt silly. It didn't feel the way that wearing makeup before made me feel, you know? And when I posted my costume online, I got a lot of people being really confused. Like, you transitioned to become a boy and now you're gonna dress like a girl? Like, yeah. Yeah, I am. Or like, doesn't this make you dysphoric? Being the dysphoria police and saying what can and can't and does and doesn't and should and shouldn't make me dysphoric as a trans person. And the thing is, at the end of the day, like, it's drag. It's a costume. It's Halloween. Like, I'm having fun. That doesn't mean I'm a girl again and that I'm detransitioning because I put on a skirt. The goal was never to transition to be a boring cis straight dude. I'm a queer person. I've always been a queer person. And that's a part of me that's fun and whimsical and lighthearted and silly. Anyways, I'm gonna grow out my hair until January. It always just gets to about this length and it gets in my eyes and I cut it off. But having longer-ish hair again is something that I really want to try. Just kind of trying things out, and that's something I want to try. So I'm just pushing through this awkward phase that it's in, and we're gonna reassess in the new year. And if it's still in a really awkward phase, and it has been for months, I might give up. But I told myself at least until January. Another thing that's been interesting since top surgery is that I was so set on being on my gym grind as soon as I could. I told myself I'm gonna be every day in the gym lifting weights. And now that I'm here, it's just kind of like not my priority. I think my goals have definitely shifted a bit. I'm still someone who really cares about my health and eating right and exercising and going outside and getting sunlight. Those are all still things I really value, but I think bulking the fuck up just really isn't my number one goal at the moment. I think getting a masculine chest made me realize I'm already built pretty masculine. Like, my body, especially my upper half, my physique is not bad. And that's with just like going on walks here and there and carrying all the groceries in. I don't know, I just thought I'd have to put in so much more work after top surgery to feel like really happy with my body and the way it looks. But no, I don't think I need to do all that. I don't think I need to get ripped. I like my body a lot now, which is someone who's struggled with eating disorder stuff in the past. That's also something that feels really nice and has felt so much better and easier since top surgery as well. That's what's up with me. It's been really chill. The girls are doing great. I'm super proud of them. I actually want to show you guys something. The other day, Coco was cleaning her room and she put together this sensory bin. In her classroom, she has like a calm corner, and all on her own, she decided that she wants to have something like that in her room. She has headphones and just like a ton of fidgets and stuff, and a little feelings doll. She like changes moods, and she's like, so I can say how I'm feeling, especially if I don't have the words in that moment. I can just put how I'm feeling. And I thought that that was so sweet. It really made me feel like I'm doing my job right. I'm raising emotionally intelligent little girls. They're so smart and they're so good at handling their feelings. And I'm teaching them things that like I really wish I was taught as a kid. And yeah, it's just really beautiful to see. I'm just so proud of them in so many ways. And that's what's up with me. Thanks for hanging out and being here. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video, Camily.